So let me show everybody what the Attorney General of the United States has been up to. Jeff Sessions' marijuana advisor wants doctors to drug test everyone. Dr. Robert DuPont practically invented the term gateway drug in the 1980s. Now he's back with a radical idea or radical ideas on how to fight the war on drugs. Now, they go on to explain, an advisor on marijuana policy to Jeff Sessions wants to see doctors make drug testing a routine part of primary care medicine and force some users into treatment against their will. These guys want a police state. That's what that is. What the fuck do you think that is? We're going to have everywhere you turn in society, whether it's the cop on the corner, whether it's your fellow neighbors, whether it's, like in this case, you go to the doctor, they want people to narc on you. Ooh, wow, you thought you had a right to privacy? You thought we believed in the First Amendment. We don't believe in the Fourth Amendment. We don't believe in the Fourth Amendment. We want to, force you into a program even if you recreationally smoke marijuana and it doesn't affect your life in a negative way at all. This is the Attorney General of the United States has this advisor. How many lives have been ruined by the war on drugs? And make no mistake, this is a giant escalation in the war on drugs. People who, non-violent drug offenders who really are not criminals by any stretch of the imagination, they're non-violent. And all they were doing was they were involved with substances. It's like being caught with a fucking bottle of Xanax or a Monster Energy drink or some whiskey or tequila. But lives have been ruined over that. They have zero sympathy for those people. They think of those people, they deserved it. Whatever, if they're in prison, they should stay in prison. Fuck them. They deserve whatever they got coming to them. And now they're saying, oh, I want your doctor to figure out what's going on in your own mind, whether it's a piss test, whether it's a fucking hair test, whatever. I don't know, just fucking test what's going on in your mind, and then we'll determine how we're punitive. Oh, God. By the way, I don't even know this probably would get a court case against it if, God forbid, they tried to go down this path. And I would venture to guess that if they were to go down this road, it would be overturned because it's unconstitutional. I mean, that's crazy. By government mandate, make doctors drug test everybody. I can't conceive of bigger government than that. That's as big as it gets. That's as terrible as it gets. But I think Jeff Sessions, if he thought he could get away with it, I think he'd do it. In fact, there was just a story that broke earlier today. They made the official announcement. They said, no, from now on, we're not going to look the other way when it comes to legal marijuana in the states. We're going to go after people. So there you have it. This is what I was warning about for a while, that we have the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution. So federal law overrides state law. So even though Colorado and Washington and California now have legal recreational weed, it's by the good graces of the federal government that they let that stuff go on. But they legally have the right to go in there and even a totally legal California marijuana business, that's following every state law on the books by the letter. They can go in there and bust it up and arrest the people who own it. They can legally do that, and they would win in court if the marijuana business were to countersue. The federal government would win in court 10 out of 10 times. There's not a single judge in the country who would say, sorry, we're going to side with the state, with the marijuana business in the state. Wouldn't happen. So this is what happens when you get draconian, backwards assholes. This is what happens when you elect fucking maniacs who have a moral code that's stuck in the 1920s at best. So this isn't good. I mean, I shudder when I think of how many more people's lives are going to be ruined as a result of this drug war. And now we have a clear escalation. And we have the advisors to the Attorney General, honestly, even more right-wing and more tyrannical and authoritarian than even I could have guessed.